Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nova War.
And Maximus Black.
And we're bringing you another normal game sent in by the fans to www.lag.tv, lag.tv. It is a pretty happening place with, yes, just over 11,000 users. So go there, register, send us your replays, become part of the community. And until then, watch this damn game. Mr. Maximus Black.
Yeah.
Hit me up with the noise of making your favorite sandwich in the world. And then eating it.
I think I'll have some lettuce. And some mayo. Light mayo. Just a little bit, some black. I think I'm gonna go with roast beef. Yeah, roast beef is awesome. Couple little pickles. And you know what? I think roast beef is just great. Oh, hit the spot.
So roast beef is your sandwich of choice.
It's a really good sandwich. I mean, that I can make. If I were to go to Subway, I would have been a different opening, but it's just a sandwich that I make at home.
Roast beef is delicious.
I like roast beef.
It's freaking delicious, especially if you have actual roast beef and not just like the processed shit you get.
Oh, it has to be. It has to be the real roast beef.
Question: roast beef sandwich that way, or warm roast beef sandwich with the gravy on top?
Warm roast beef sandwich, gravy on top.
Okay, well, that was a stupid question. You're black, not to be racist, but black and gravy. I mean, really.
Oh, it's. I mean, yeah.
It's not even a question.
No, that was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, my apologies. I should have backpedaled on that one. Down here in the bottom right-hand corner of Jeff, do you know the name of this map? Don't care. Is Pumpernickel, which is the inspiration for Pumpernickel bread is a very good bread for sandwiches, but one of those things that I don't care enough to spend money on to actually make sandwiches out of.
Well, I don't want to be racist either, but I've never heard of pumpernickel bread, and I'm gonna go on a limb and say it's probably a white thing.
Yeah.
You don't see no black guy going to the grocery store going, I need some motherfucking pumpernickel bread.
No, they say, show me to the Wonder Bread.
Show me to the 2 for $3 bread. Fuck a Wonder Bread. What are you talking about? Give me the cheapest bread there is. Holy tits.
Yeah, up in the top left, we have the Blue Zerg Naba, who is currently working away at Pumpernickel's expansion here. Quickly get out those links, and is actually going to kill this expansion. And there is absolutely nothing that Pumpernickel can do about that right now, Mr.
Well,
Maximus
Pumpernickel.
Wow. I believe that's called breastfeeding. I believe that's what that's called.
Pumpernickel, I'm just going to call him Nickel, kind of got really unlucky there because the moment that the hatch finished, that was when the lings were revealed. And I shouldn't say that because the Overlord saw them come down as well. He does have an Overlord in the middle of the map, so he most certainly could have canceled that hatch. But in case he didn't actually see the lings, it was a really unfortunate finish of that hatch. And yes, he lost it, which puts him way behind right now. In fact, he's so behind that he's going to go, all right, I'm just going to get a Roach Warren and see what I can do, which is going to possibly work simply because Naba is getting a Baneling's Nest, and obviously Roaches are extremely good against Banes unless you have so many Banes that you just overrun them, but at this stage in the game, it's just not going to happen.
If there's one thing Roaches are good at, it's taking it to the face.
Absolutely, they are. A pumper nipple to the face.
Ooh. There's probably a subreddit for that.
Yeah, probably.
Reddit.com/r/pumpernickel.
There is actually a subreddit for anything you can think of. It's like Google. You could type in reddit.com/r/
whatever you want to just
whatever
put in
it
there,
is,
and it's probably a thing.
Yeah, like juggling monkeys, and there'll be like some sort of subreddit.
But I feel like if you put in juggling monkeys, it's probably going to be a whole bunch of dudes just like fondling their ball sack. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like /space dicks, which I think we've said in the past. Don't go there. Bad life choice.
I haven't been there. No, I don't plan on going.
Don't ever go there. It's kind of like that. Like you hear space dicks, and you're like, okay, this could actually be kind of comedic. No, there's nothing comedic about /space dicks. There's nothing at all. You have to be some sort of sick, twisted person to find humor in space dicks. Right now, Pumpernickel, having got out that second queen, which I think was just for defensive purposes, for all intents and purposes, and then hopefully also just to transfer down to the expansion that was shut down for a second time, is now basically trapped up in his base, blocking this ramp as best as he possibly can, which is not going to end well should one or two of these banelings get through, because the roaches are not up front. Never mind, now he's just going to leave his entire base.
Yeah, this is going to be close. I mean, on paper here, it looks like Pumpernickel is actually going to come out on top just because of those roaches. It really depends. If he puts those lings in the front and those lings get smacked with those banes, he can actually still lose this. But he wants to get these roaches to soak up a lot of these banes. And here we go. It's going to be very close. Trying to stutter step, but he has all these units on, I was going to say one hotkey, but he's not using any hotkeys whatsoever. Neither player is using any hotkeys. So this is probably going to turn out bad for Pumpernickel if he decides to push into this, because he really needs those roaches to soak up most of the damage of those banes, and he just keeps like running them in sort of with those lings. And yes, he is very smartly moving up to his ramp. I think this is most certainly the best choke for him. In fact, getting those two queens in the front and having those roaches in behind the two queens, and then transfusing those queens to keep those alive would be the best case scenario. But this is what, Gold League?
This is Gold League. We're not talking best case scenario. We're talking who can A move and then micro slightly better than the other. And here we go. We're going to go in again. This time with the roaches up front. That's a much better thing to have. The banelings are in the back, however. And again, no unit separation is not your. That's not your best friend right now.
For either player.
No. What I will say is, for what seemed to be at least a short period, and now I'm just biting or eating my words here a little bit, because mid-sentence, Naba started building drones again. He cut drones building all those Zerglings.
Yeah, he did.
That you now see. And so he wasn't even making use of his expansion. And so really, Pumpernickel didn't fall that far behind here. In fact, he didn't fall behind at all.
No, he didn't. And you're totally right. He cut probes. He was just building lanes.
Drones.
And the sad thing
I say
about
probes too?
Did you? Maybe that's why I said probes.
Workers.
Workers, there you
go.
go. He cut workers because he built so many lings, and he didn't even get speed. Like, sure, it's going now. It's so late. Like, when you're gonna go all in like this, at least have speed ready. I mean, for frick's sake, Pumper's already got speed, and look at that. He loses. Actually, he canceled that hatch, killed a lot of Banes there and a lot of Lings, and now look at this army. It's going to be Roaches versus Lings, and there's just not enough Lings to get rid of all these Roaches, and suddenly Pumpernickel is in a decent position, although he had to cancel that hatch. Well, the economy-wise, Naba is in the lead. He does have Aspire, so I guess he is trading decently in that aspect and keeping him at his base and whatnot, but you would think Pumper would either be dead right now, or Naba would have a lot more back at home for the amount of time he got from killing off the hatch now for the second time. He hasn't really done a whole lot, but like I said, that Spire is going to finish, and that will actually be a problem for Pumpernickel, depending on how many mutas can get out before the attack happens. So
he's got what, probably about a minute and a half, maybe a minute window here where his Mutalisk will be able to come down here and do damage freely to the worker line here. And I'm saying that about Naba because Pumpernickel does also have the Spire going. It's going to be finished here probably within another 15 or so seconds, while the first 7 Mutalisks are just on their way out now, or the first couple of Mutalisks anyway. For Naba, 5 more on the way.
He needs to push out with these roaches, dude. He needed to. He needs to go and apply pressure
because he had almost as many roaches as Naba had Zerglings.
Yeah, no. If he would have pushed out, he would have forced Naba to build a bunch of spine crawlers. Pump out those mutas. In fact, Naba was supply blocked at 50 for quite a while. It would have been a perfect opportunity for him to push out, but he didn't do that. And now the sort of lead he had, which is kind of weird even saying that, because of the position he was in all game, but he actually kind of had a bit of a lead there for a while, and now it's kind of gone away now that these mutas are out.
Yeah, and but you know what? At the same token, Naba, once again, just like before, where he was cutting drones and not getting himself ahead as much as he could have been here, hasn't utilized... He waited too long, because now his opponent is going to be able to start producing these Mutalisk, and the Mutalisk hasn't even ventured into the base of Pumpernickel, which... Up to this point, still, there is nothing to stop except for 2 queens. these Mutalisks, and now, well, of course, now there are 3 whopping Mutalisks out for Pumpernickel. I don't know why he ran away from that, but
yeah, seriously.
Yeah, like I was saying, Naba just again not using the advantage here, being a little too apprehensive. He's got what now? He's got 12 Muta to 4, and
yeah, he needs to just go in with those Mutas now.
He's just a move.
Yeah, he doesn't go in with the Lings and stuff. Take those things home because you're not going to do F all with those. You might be able to kill those Spore Crawlers with the Lings. But, I mean, against that Pumpernickel's army, you're not going to do anything. No. But he needs to go in with the Mutas and do some damage somewhere. In the main, anywhere. It needs to happen because now the Nat is up. And look at that. He has fallen back when he had so many Muta out against 4. He could have been picking off Overlords in the main, taking out those 2 Queens, whatever it was. I mean, look at the drones, 40-19 in Naba's favor. He just needs to keep applying pressure, and the game was his. And now I feel like he might lose this game. If Pumpernickel keeps getting Mutas, his ground force is just going to be enough. In fact, he's got so much of a ground force that even if the Mutas start attacking it, he's going to lose his natural regardless.
No,
even with the Mutas attacking.
There's way too many roaches here for the Mutalisk that Naba has right now to clean it up.
Yeah.
So he'd be able to just push in here and get rid of the natural if he so chooses. But I think he's going to get scared by this and just kind of turn and run.
Yep.
Which isn't smart. If he's going to lose all of these, he might as well lose and take out as many as he can.
Yeah.
Turn around and just fight it, and he's going to turn around and fight it now that he's at home. But he lost. He could have killed all those Zerglings.
Yep, he could have killed, most certainly could have killed the ground forces.
Yep.
He might have lost a bunch of roaches in the process, but really, what are roaches going to do for you at this stage in the game when obviously your opponent's going mass Muta?
Sometimes you just have to trade.
Yep, I mean the trade should have been a while ago when he.
Oh, nice.
Jeez.
All right, well there you go.
Oh, okay.
But
so
now suddenly, however, Naba's gotten the brain.
Now suddenly GG.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, GG. That escalated really quickly. I'm going to point that out. That escalated quickly.
Pumpernickel could have attacked with roaches on a number of occasions, decided not to, went out basically at the wrong time, and got caught when he was running back. He lost so much of his ground force. He just stopped building Mutas altogether. Maybe he thought the Spore Crawlers would get rid of mass Muta. I have no idea. But either way, I guess it was an okay game. It wasn't anything to write home about. Just mistakes on both sides.
It's a Gold League game, and there's going to be those mistakes. I mean, you know what level you're looking at when there's no hotkeys and stuff. But, the good things that you see here are at least just not mechanically speaking, but just where you see the opponent going roaches. And he gets out the Mutalisk first. Unfortunately, he didn't utilize the Mutalisk to their full potential early on when he had that advantage. And really, he's lucky that Pumpernickel didn't suddenly just make a whole whack of Mutalisk and gain superiority, because for a large period of the game, Naba wasn't even making use of his second base. It wasn't mining. So, but yeah, you know what? Not the worst game I've ever seen, and it is what it is. No. And certainly, if you are a Zerg player and you're in that ZVZ scenario, Mutalisk are just basically that's the show. In ZVZ,
yep.
It inevitably comes down to Mutalisk at some point, and so just make sure that when you are able to go in, that you do so, and don't get too apprehensive about things, and just kind of sit back, because it can kill you. And for a period of time, I actually thought Naba was going to lose this game.
Me too.
Just because he was too scared to go in. But yeah, that's going to be it for this game, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And hit that like and favorite button as usual. Once again, join us on lag.tv, become part of the community. Hit us up on Facebook at /lagtv. You'll be able to keep up with us in all sorts of fanciful ways if you do so. And until next time, this has been Nova War.
And Maximus Black.
Peace.
Peace out.